What if I told you there's a way to meet high quality women, which makes them chase you, positions you as a high value man, does not require you to swipe endlessly on dating apps, does not even require Instagram, does not even require do cold approach. As a side benefit and cherry on top, you can even make some money on the side using this app. And no, I'm not talking about OnlyFans. I'm not talking about being an escort promoter. None of that bullshit. But in this episode, we're going to talk about this little known strategy that few men are using, a few handful men are using to meet very attractive girls, make some money on the side, and make very good connections. I'm here with my co-host Max, and today we're going to break this down, strategy down for you, how you can implement the same and then build Social Circle to the next level.
Let's roll the intro.
So, Max, why should people listen to us?
Yeah, I like the term manipulative pickup tactics. Yeah,
who are you, Max? Why should people listen to you?
We're manipulating girls to come to our parties. I mean, the biggest proof, we can sit here all day long and talk and how good we are and how many girls we bring to those parties, but you just have to go on our Instagrams. It's Max himself and Ans Khalid on Instagram, and then you will see there all the proof. If you watch through our highlight stories, then you see us being in clubs and cool venues, in restaurants, doing cool stuff, photo shoots with tons and tons of beautiful girls, being surrounded by them, and we do that on a weekly basis. So there you will have all the visual proof, and this is exactly what we teach other guys.
Okay, Max, spill the tea. What is this little known hidden method that a few handful of men are using to get women who and then actually get paid for it?
Yeah.
Okay, as a side note, as a spoiler. So not all the time you get paid for it, but you get some extra VIP perks or benefits. What is this that we're talking about?
Yeah, this is the very amazing world of being a so-called club promoter. And I know a lot of people think of those guys like, hey, they're just standing in front of clubs or venues and they are handing out flyers to all the other people just passing by and doing nothing else. But this is like the complete false narrative of what a good club promoter actually is. And today we're going to talk about what you should strive for in order to make this work for you to meet the hottest girls in your city, and of course, as a bonus, make some money on the side.
Does this require for me to be a party type? What if I'm not extrovert? Will this work for me?
Nah, absolutely not. So, I'm introverted as well. So I love being introverted. I love just spending time sitting around, having quality time with friends or girls. And being extroverted requires for me to bring up energy as well. And I'm not a party type of person as well. I like to party with the right type of people around me. And of course, it's way easier for me to party when I'm surrounded by girls. What guy wouldn't love to have that environment around him? But you don't have to be a party type of people, right? When we talk about party people, or what most people think of when they hear the word party people, is that you have to dance around, be loud, talk to everyone, drink heavily alcohol, but this is not necessarily linked to party people, right? It's just being in the right social environment, being surrounded by the right type of people, and a very cool looking environment that can give you status as well.
Also, like, it helps you socialize a bit. Like, you don't have to be crazy. Like, with this strategy, the good thing is, if you are like a promoter, you are giving value, you end in the VIP section. In the VIP section, the good thing is like the ratio. There's like way more women. They look hot, and then you don't have to like go out of your way, like do this like pickup tactics, bark as some guys do to pick up women. They literally bark. So you don't have to bark. You don't have to like do some jumping jacks to get their attention. You don't have to like peacock with a hat, right? You don't have to wear see-through shirts. You just exist, man. Like, you just have fun, and then one girl introduces to other girl. So you don't have to be like a party extroverted type for this to work.
Yeah, because clubs are necessarily linked to being loud and full of dancing people. I mean, a lot of those places they have dance floors and people who are very loud, and and all of that stuff. But there are very cool clubs everywhere in every big city where just people are just want to chill in some very cool looking lounge and talk to each other, right? And they're full of introverted people. And I think the highest value men that I know, they're all introverted, but they all had to essentially start somewhere when it comes to socializing or building their network. And clubs are one good lever that you can use, especially in the beginning. This doesn't mean that you have to be a club promoter all of your life, because I know guys, and there are very famous podcasters even out there. I think Chris Williamson was a club promoter as well, and he told in one podcast that it just helped him get on the next level where he just got to know some other people. But he's like a very introverted guy, right? It doesn't require you to be very extroverted or outgoing. You just have to, it just helps you to get the necessary social skills straight. And of course, that skill for when it comes to bringing girls to one event.
Is it not like a very time-taking strategy? I can just swipe on the apps. Like, why should I go out of my way to do club promotion or event promotion? Like, it could be for any event, actually. You don't have to be a club promoter. You could be promoter for a fashion show. You could be a promoter for a fight, like a martial arts match. You could be a promoter for other high-class events, charity events. What are the benefits?
All right, let me say something that will blow people's minds, right? Everything consumes time. So either you're swiping on Tinder, on Hinge, on Bumble, or you're doing some outreach for event promotion, it will all consume some time. So that's the part that of course will require you to spend some time. But if your objective is to meet a bunch of beautiful girls, then club promotion will be the more efficient way to compare it to Tinder, for example. Because on Tinder, you have to flash out your profile, you have to swipe a lot on all those profiles, and even if you get a match, it's not guaranteed for these girls for you to meet those girls on a date, and Tinder requires you to meet those girls more on a one-on-one. But if you just go out there, fix your Instagram profile, which is quite easily done, and then you DM a lot of girls on Instagram or reach out to them in a different way, there's a way higher chance for these girls to come to that club and even bring other female friends with them. And if, for example, you happen to be surrounded by then maybe like, say, 20 girls on that one club evening, and you manage to bring them in, they will see you as more higher value because you're associated with the club, you're kind of part of the team, you guide them to some table, to some direction, and of course you're free to hang around with them. And this makes you appear in their eyes as a more higher value man, which is pre-selected.
This can also be combined with all different strategies.
Yes.
Right? It's not that I hate dating apps. It's just that they don't convert well when it comes to attractive women. Now, what you can do is, like, you can, if you get matches, you can invite them. You can ask that girl, hey, I have like a table at this club. We'll jump into how to get tables, how to get free comps in the clubs, especially if you're in the US or in other countries. You can literally write girls, hey, I have a table at the club. You seem to have a cool vibe. You can come and bring a friend or two with you. And you can tell, and then she feels more comfortable because like she's not going to meet you alone. And then that increases your chances.
Yeah.
You know, you can meet 5, 6, 7, 8 girls in one night using dating apps as well. I think I was doing that as well. Previously, you know, on apps, you meet girls and then you don't have time to go on multiple dates, but you see, like, you know, which one I vibe with, of course. You can use dating apps to funnel people or girls to your club as well. And let's say compared to cold approach. Normally, when you cold approach a girl, she doesn't know you, like doesn't trust you, and then you have to have very like top 1% mastery level manipulative pickup skills, and then it works, right? For some guys who are commenting, man, you guys just have to be better. Of course, man. Like, we have been cold approaching girls like since, I mean, I did it 2018, something like that. Max, you probably around that time as well, 17, 18, 19.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have done cold approaching like a fair bunch. Like, it was converting well. But in terms of efficiency, right, it's not well. I do it when I'm traveling, but not in my city. Because at some point, if you do too much, you start meeting the girls again and again. Like, you talked to her 2 months ago, and then she's like, well, I rejected you a month ago, and now I'm rejecting you again. But if you do the club promoter approach, then you're essentially providing value. Hey, you seem cool. I am looking for cool people for this event, upcoming event, right? Could be, as I said, could be a club event, could be an opening event, could be a red carpet event.
Yeah.
And then they feel like you're a high status man because you're providing value. They cannot reject you for that because they are rejecting to the offer that you made. So that's a very good thing I like about this.
Yeah, so to quickly touch on the point that you mentioned with cold approach, right? I mean, we've already seen some comments on our channel where people said, yeah, cold approach, you have to do it either better or it's the only way or it's the best way. I mean, listen, it's not about bashing other strategies to meet women. We're not saying that cold approach is not working. So this is not the point. We are here comparing different systems and approaches to meet women and compare them based on numbers in terms of efficiency to one another. And it's quite obvious that if you do, for example, cold approach, it's just like in marketing terms, 1-to-1. Yeah, you have to go up to one girl after the other and then approach her. And that way you're collecting your lead list and then you can go on dates with them, so on and so forth. But compared to a club promotion strategy, which is one-to-many, this strategy is more efficient. Of course, you have to have game, you have to poll the girls, you have to talk to them, you have to know how to flirt, yada, yada, yada. But in terms of efficiency, when it comes to meeting women, the club promotion strategy, especially in 2025 and forthcoming, is more efficient because people are more and more and more using social media as part of their lifestyle. It's not anymore. It's about just showing off on social media. It's about integrating those social media apps in your life and using them to network with people, get to know people, and then go to cool events. And this is essentially what we're talking about here.
Let's talk about why this strategy works in terms of scientific and evolutionary reasons. So we said it's a cheat code. Why is that? Well, we'll explain you in terms of preselection. Simple saying, we have heard it 100 times. Women want what other women want.
Yes.
Right? So they did like a test. A guy told that, he has a girlfriend. So 90% of the girl there were interested in him.
Yeah.
Compared to if the same guy said, if he was single. So same guy, just him saying, he has a girlfriend makes him interested to other girls compared to if he was single. That means other women thinks he is worthy, capable of something. That's why, preselection, it works. Evolutionary based reason, right? There's like hundreds of research on there. Like Dr. David Buss has written multiple books on this, evolution psychology, evolution of desire. You can read that if you want.
I noticed that many, many times that when I, for example, talk to girls and then I show them something out of my life or I tell them what we're doing, like photo shoots or even trips, and then I just have to pull out my phone and show them my Instagram, and then they see all the content, all the pictures, the after movies from the trips that we have been. And when they see those videos, they instantly feel way more comfortable talking to me. Then you will see this smile becoming stronger. They will ask more questions just because they see you in that video hanging around with other girls, spending time with other girls. They will feel instantly more comfortable towards you when they see another man either being in a relationship or hanging around with other girls. Because again, women pre-select other men. So this guy must have something for other women to feel comfortable around him. And now I feel comfortable around him as well.
So some guys who have seen our profile, right? If you haven't, just check it out, hit the Instagram description. They might think, hey, you guys look like players. I'm not a player. I have a wife. When if I have a wife, I don't know why you're watching this. But, do I have to post girls on my profile to be able to have a cool ass Instagram?
Not necessarily. I mean, you can post girls on your Instagram profile as part of pre-selection. You can do that, but it's very important to not brag, to not post those pictures in a very braggy way, right? So if you don't post any girls on your Instagram profile, you can still make it look high status and still do some club promotion. That's totally fine. But you will miss some sort of pre-selection there. I mean, you can still have pictures of you being in the club, in the DJ booth, or with other high-value people, which will give you some pre-selection aspects as well, but not necessarily pre-selection aspects when you show yourself with other women. So that's that aside, right? So what I tell our clients in most cases, and this is a very easy way to distinguish if people are trying to brag, let's say, for example, with girls, because I've seen it a lot, that some guys just want to brag with the girls they're hanging around. I mean, it's cool to show off with girls. For example, if you're in front of a photo wall with them or at some very high-end fashion show and you want to take a group picture of them, that's completely fine, but it shouldn't like dominate your feed. It shouldn't like look the way that you're only doing content is to show the world that you can get a group picture of these girls. In the end, it's about the vibe that your profile should give the people that who are visiting your profile. And the easiest way to make content look authentic is to show all the things that you have in your photos as if they're part of your lifestyle. So this is the easiest way.
Yeah,
right?
make it look like it's low effort.
It's low effort. It's just a snippet. It's just a candid photo that just happened of you being you.
Even though you clearly went up there, posed, wore nice clothes, but you have to make it look like it's low perceived. Because that's the name of the game.
That's the name of the game.
There are so many other benefits that I see if you are an event promoter, right? Because you are a social person and you're making so many good connections. Like, for example, in the VIP sections, that's also a very good place. Let's say you go to a very nice techno festival, or in the US, there's like, you go to a nice club or a high-end event where it's like a big DJ like Marshmello. And then if you are able to get backstage access, you could be working as an engineer, you could be working as an entrepreneur, but you could do like this promotion on the side to even make more connections. Imagine like you can get access to backstage in one-on-one with like your favorite celebrities, favorite gurus, influencers, and then you backstage with them, and then you can spark out connections. I met so many people just like that because I was able to make good connections with like guys who are making 7 figures, 8 figures, just because I was there. And then I was like, everyone knew me in that circle. That's also a very positive thing. For some people, maybe more important than just, getting more girls.
I know there are some guys out there who just use club promotion just to get access to more rich and richer guys. So they essentially don't really care about girls or the VIP area or the music in the club. All they care about is just to bring some value to the club in order for other guys to be pleased and then get access to them. So this is one way you can use as well, right? If your main goal is to just get access to some guys who have money, because essentially guys who are in the VIP area or have some comp tables, they had to pay for it, and not everyone is able to pay for those tables. And I remember a couple of nights that we had when we were having our VIP lounge that we, of course, got for free because we're bringing girls to the club all the time. But just the lounge next to us, there were some guys, I don't want to say looked rich, but you just saw they had to have something going on in their lives. And then in some instances, we talked to them, and then it turned out for them to be being like entrepreneurs or something else. So that's a very, very easy way to get connections as well.
When you use this, you can include that in all other, let's say, lead getting strategies. You can, when you're swiping on the apps, if you don't have time to go on multiple days, you just invite everyone to a club and then see which one resonates. Also with cold approach to do the same. So there's like multiple strategies that you can layer on top and then bring them all to the club. And then you get so much pre-selection, so many advantages. And then at the end of the evening, if you see someone is ready for some adventurous chemistry, then you can proceed with the adventurous chemistry.
Yeah, sure. So there's nothing holding you back, right? And of course, you can filter girls out that way. So some girls, they may or may not like you, but then they will see you talking to other girls in the group at your table. And then all of a sudden, they will probably start to like you. Or maybe some girls happen to me as well that you initially don't really like, or you don't know them very well. And then you get to spend some more time with them, or you will see them qualifying for your attention. And then all of a sudden, you will start to like them even more. So I've done that quite a few times where I wasn't sure about some girls. I just brought them to the club or some online date that I wasn't very motivated to meet, but I just said, hey, you can just join us for the club or something else. I mean, there's never enough girls. I mean, in some instances, we had some nights where there were too many girls, but actually you can't have too many girls at your table. So that's the cool thing about that.
Well, to talk about that, there was like one time, Max, where we had like this VIP lounge, It was me, you, and 30 girls. And it was so fucking hot. Like, I was wearing a full sleeve, right? It was winter, I was wearing full sleeve. I was like drained in my sweat. Man, it was so many girls. We did not have space to move. I'm like, okay, that's like a nice to have, but like it's now way too many.
Was that in the club P1?
No, it was like here in YE, a couple, probably it was in November or something. Man, we could not move.
I remember that one. Yeah.
We could not move. That was the only time I'm like, nah, this is way too many.
Yeah.
So most guys, most people like would not have that problem, but that evening I'm like, nah, man, I can barely like talk to anyone because there's like way too many people. But most of the time, like group of 8-10 people, I think is very ideal.
Yeah.
And it's totally doable.
I mean, if you're having problems like that, then you're essentially having other problems as well. So for most guys, of course, this is a dream scenario to even come even close to a situation like that, but it's doable. 3 years ago, if one would say to me, hey, I was in the club surrounded by 30 girls and it was too hot, I would say like, motherfucker, how did you manage to do this? What is this kind of dark magic? How? And you're just worrying about being sweaty. 30 girls around you. And it's way easier to achieve something like this. You just have to know the right steps in order to do this.
Since we are on that, let's talk step by step how to become a VIP host and how to start funneling some females into your life. So, okay, let's talk about what promoting actually means. So in simple terms, a promoter's job is to bring people to a place, right? I think I was in Poland a couple of years back, and it was a New Year's Eve. I saw a guy, I was new, right? And then he's taking me, I'm like, man, this is so nice. This guy is so friendly. He's like taking care of me, and then he's inviting me to a exclusive hidden event, right? It's a very nice story. And then I'm there with my good friend, and then he's like, I'm like, oh man, like he's so good. Like he's showing me party. I'm new to this city. I was like in a small city in Poland, and then he's telling me, hey man, like I'll show you a nice party, exclusive party, nice girls. I'm like, and then you get like exclusive, very hot girls. I'm like, damn, I want to see that. So I'm following this guy, and then when he takes us there, it's like a club. I don't know. I'm like, okay, there's a party happening here. And then they like, show us your ID. Are you like above 21? I'm like, yeah, sure. And then they're like 20 euros entry. I'm like, in Poland, 20 euros. I'm like, okay. He says, cool party. I trust this guy. He seems trustworthy. I go up there and I enter into a strip club. I'm like, okay, damn. No, that's haram. That's haram. I did not stay there long, and then I got out. So that's essentially what a promoter does in club environment, nightclubs environment, right? Not in every country. Like in US, for example, in Vegas, for example, they need girls. They pay you even for it, like when you are able to bring girls. Plus, all clubs they run because guys want to flex on the girls. It's like a very environment. They buy bottles, they buy things like that, so they want to spend money. And the clubs which are spending the most money, you usually have nice DJs, and they usually also have like attractive women out there. Okay, that's how they work. So if you are a promoter and you're inviting girls, let's call it that, inviting girls, then you are essentially helping the club or event itself. Either you could get paid for it, a couple $100, or you could get like VIP perks. Like for example, me and Max, we are okay with just like, every now and then we got paid, but we are mostly, we're okay with like getting access to a VIP lounge and some free drinks, things like that. And then that's pretty good.
You see that a lot of clubs, they're competing constantly for those people, because the best club in the city is not the club where the best music runs. It's a club with the hottest girls. It's always been that way. It will always be that way. So the best club has the hottest girls in there. For those clubs to get the hottest girls in there, they have to do some work for that. So a lot of these clubs, they either pay people directly for being there or bringing people in, or they just pay you in other ways. But I know that in other cities, like what I heard is Barcelona or some parts of Russia where I come from, especially in Moscow, in very, very big cities, there are those club girls, or they have different names depending on which city you are. So these are just girls who are getting paid by the club for just being there. There are no hookers or strippers. They just have to be hot. They just have to sit around in those VIP lounges, and they just have to be in the club, and they're getting paid by an hourly rate or something. And this really blows my mind because clubs are competing for this, and they're searching for services like this all the time. So there's never like enough girls a club can be.
I think in New York, there's a term called being an atmosphere model. What that means is like you don't do anything, you just exist, and then you get paid for it. Of course, like you have to get dressed and all that, right? But I mean, you do that anyway. So they kind of pay girls who look very attractive, and then they're in this club. So they're called atmosphere models, if I'm not wrong. That's in New York, right? And then there's like bottle girls. It's the one who is like bringing bottles for you, right? And then you have bartenders. So like a lot of attractive girls in a nightclub environment. So especially in the very highest tier clubs, you will see only attractive girls who are working there, who are being present there. Also in like the backstage or in the VIP section, you only see like attractive women. Because nightclubs, that's how it actually works. It was supposed to be, for guys to be able to flex and be like that.
Having hot women in a venue is one of the most valuable things a venue can essentially have. Because I remember I was talking to a guy like a year ago, and his family was having a bakery. Something like that, something along the lines, like a small restaurant, bakery, something like that. And as soon as they made all the waitresses look very hot, told them to dress up very nice and have like strict scripts to talk to the customers, and in a very flirty way, they increased their revenue by so much. I don't know how much it was, but just by having hot girls in that bakery. Of course, this will attract some other customers and mostly men, but they are willing to spend the money. And in the end, all you care about as a bakery is the money, right? So this is very valuable for every venue because in the end, a lot of people are just searching for this warm female energy that everyone wants to have and love.
Well, like them females. All right. So if I was a person who wanted to get into trying club promoting, right? So I have like a 4-step approach for you. 4-step approach, how you can actually get into club promotion. Okay. So I said like you have to start with something. The way I would start is like finding out, like connecting with the existing club promoters. Okay. I would go out there, write them on Instagram. If you have Instagram fixed, the pop-up should be existing. Fix your Instagram, make it look cool. So when you write to someone on cold, you can scale it more, right? It's easier to find people. You can search for different clubs or ask around, and then you will find events in clubs, and then you will find eventually VIP hosts, club promoters. You just write them. This is the way I started. And you're like, hey, man, I would like to help you out, right? So there's a different way to help them. You can do it with content, or you can just be their sub-promoter. So this is like you get, if we are foot in the door, and then he's like, hey, man, I would like to help you bring more girls, bring more people. No promoter says no to that, right? They always need more girls, okay? Yeah. So I would just look out, get a yes, get like a connection, and then he's like willing you to get like either free entry or a free table. In the beginning, he's not going to trust you with a free table because he does not know if you can deliver. Even like small thing like free entry, okay? So this is step 1. Step 2 would be that I find girls who would like to attend this event, okay? Ideally, I would like to focus on a big event, opening event or weekend where the likelihood of them coming up is higher. So I need to know those things. And then I can either ask friends of friends if I have already some social circles. At this stage, the girls don't have to be very, very attractive, right? This will help, right, as you evolve. But in the beginning, as long as they're not whales, this works, right? No whales, just, average looking girls, females. So it works. So that's step 2. Step 3, you use Instagram to scale it further. When you go to the event, you bring these girls with you. About, I would say, showing up with 5 girls would be very ideal. 3 to 5 girls would be very ideal because it gives you like a bit of clout. Then when a person sees your face, gonna resonate, like associate, okay, this person, hot girl. So, a word comes to your mind. That's what matters in nightclub. They don't care. They say, okay, this person, wallet. This person, chicks. That's how they label you.
And of course, The content, right? Of course, every time you have the chance to do content, do selfie videos of the girls, connect to the girls that you're bringing. I mean, you just shouldn't like pass them through the door and then just fuck off. Spend time with the girls, befriend them, and because hot girls always know other hot girls, and that way this gives you the possibility to invite more girls for next events, do content with them, be it either club photography. So if you have the possibility to do club photography on top as a promoter, this is a very good thing because this helped us a lot of times because we could always over deliver in terms of value for the club, and then they gave us more possibilities to have comms, VIP
Yep.
tables in the future, and befriend the girls, do content with them, and of course post that content on your social media. For example, after movies, cool photos of you being surrounded by girls, or just maybe cool portrait pictures of the girls in a cool club environment. So all of that, because people will see that, they will essentially tag you in all of their posts, tag you in their stories, and this will spread very, very fast.
Yeah, you have to be mindful of providing value. Like if you are new into this, you need to make your name, right?
Yeah.
And like after a couple weeks, a month or so, like everyone knows you because the night circle is like in every city is like kind of smaller. Like there's like 5 cool clubs, there's like 15, 20 cool guys that you have to know, and then life is easy. Okay. So you have to provide value, especially if they don't know you. So you need to establish some credibility, and the way you can give value is like already by bringing girls, asking them if they need anything. When you post stories, tag them and then tag the event series, and then make 2-3 stories, and then they will be happy about it. The best thing you can do is like if you are able to bring more. So the way club promoters or events make money is like selling bottles and selling tables. So if you already have like a bunch of girls, you can go find like some rich guys, and then invite them to get a table there because you're already bringing girls, and then you can get commission from that. Let's say you sell a table for $1,000, you can easily get 200-300 bucks from that $1,000. Okay. And then the club makes money, the guy is happy because you have girls there, and then you make the introduction, and then you can pocket the difference. This is how you can also make side income. And then if you do it, let's say you sell 3-4 tables, you easily make $1,000 a day, right? This happens when you are working on it, so you can network with guys, and then you can also like make it a side income. Like you can, for some people that's equivalent to replacing your like full-time job. Like you make $500, $600, $1,000 in every weekend. Possible.
I mean, in a very big city, like, I mean, here in this podcast, and especially in Black Swan System, we are focusing mainly on Europe. And if you live in a big city like, let's say, Barcelona, also, then it should be very easy for you to just make a side income by being a club promoter. If you happen to be, unfortunately, on the male side of things, you can just promote things. But if you luckily ended up on the female side of things, you just get paid by just existing.
Wait, another thing that you just mentioned, right? Let's say you go to a club to meet girls. In order to meet very attractive girls, you either need to buy a table or like, dance floor game never work. Like it's a very status-based environment, especially in the nightclubs, right? You can try to meet girls like on the bar, things like that, but then you have a lot of sausage competition.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say club game doesn't work. So I pulled some very hot girls from the club in my club game days. But what it requires you to have solid game. You have to be on point. You have to be sharp. Your approach anxiety has to be very, very low. And this is pulling a very hot girl from the club. Of course, possible. I mean, if they're in some VIP lounge, you can't have access to them. Then, of course, and most of the hot girls, they are in some VIP disclosed area. It can be done, but of course, you have to invest a lot of things beforehand for you to make that possible, right?
They have like resistance, like if you are a brokey or an average guy. But if you are in a VIP lounge, there's the ratio is in your favor, the pre-selection is in your favor. Right, so it's much easier to have access to and then take things forward with those girls.
Yeah, and all you have to do for this to happen is just send out an Instagram DM. That's it. One Instagram DM makes you be surrounded by a lot of hot, attractive girls in some area where other guys don't have access to.
So let's talk about some objections that some people might have. So you already talk about, if you don't have to post girls, like you don't need to be an extrovert. So what if there's someone who's like, yeah, I have a full-time job. Like this sounds like a lot of time, man. Max, like, does this take a lot of time?
I mean, your full-time job won't probably happen in the nighttime, right? I mean, if it's Friday evening and it's 11 p.m. or midnight, I'm pretty sure that for 99% of the people, this is not the time where they are going to practice their full-time job. And of course, the decision is up to you if you want to just sit around at home or do something else or go drink with your guy friends or make maybe some money on the side with club promotion and meet some girls that way. I mean, that's completely your decision, but this really doesn't have anything to do with your full-time job. Of course, if you're like, for example, let's say a police officer and you have to work during that time, then of course it won't be possible.
That would be cool, like showing up with a uniform.
Yeah. Busting the party.
You, handcuff, go.
I'm pretty sure some girls would like that.
Yeah, I'm arresting you. Come with me. Come in my
Yes, officer.
come in my van.
Come in my van.
Come in my van.
But what I feel like a lot of people use that, hey, I have a full-time job as an excuse.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I get that part that you need to relax after your job, but you're doing something else anyways after your job. Sitting around at home, thinking that this will give you some relaxation instead of going to the club and doing some promotion, there's no difference. It's just, I understand that there's some resistance in the beginning. It's the same resistance as, for example, approaching a girl on the street because it's new to you. But in the end, there's no objection in my mind when it comes to time.
Man, it's easier. Like, you spend texting girls is like, I hate that.
Yeah.
Like you have to text girl and then convince her that you like her and then you cool her and then you have to handle her objections. Like instead, like you send 3-4 messages and then you're like, hey, going to this event, want to join, bring your friends, VIP area, boom.
Copy paste.
Then she's like, boom, okay.
Yeah.
Offer that I should not deny.
Yeah.
Okay, no risk, right? So it's more scalable that way. Plus, a friend of mine told me I'm a Batman. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm a software developer in the day. In the night, I do like VIP hosting.
Yeah.
So he's like basically doing 2 different things.
Yeah.
So it's like introverted geek, and then he's like social person in the night. So it's like you can still make it work.
I get the objection, like you work and then after you work and maybe, for example, you're a software developer, which is a very relaxed work with no people around you. And then suddenly you have to be social, get some energy for you to get into some extroverted stage. But that's with everything in life, right? If you want to meet a girl and you want to date her, you have to become some kind of person for this to happen anyways.
Another thing that comes to your mind, will women take me seriously or just see me as a party guy?
It really depends on how you position yourself then on social media. I mean, they can only get that impression when they watch your stories or your photos on social media. So how else would they just create that impression, right? If a woman thinks that you're just a party guy, she has to be there at the party herself, if not just watching your stories, right? So this means she's a party girl herself and she enjoys the environment.
I would say something else, right? So there's different kind of events. Women generally like men who are social.
Yeah.
That means he's socially intelligent. He's able to interact with other Homo sapiens. So he's fine, right? So he can he can live life, right? He's to be trusted.
Yes.
So it's a high status signal, okay? So it's to be trusted. But what you can do differently, let's say you don't have to go to nightclubs all the time. You can do opening events. You can do brunches and all that. We talk about that differently. And when you are in person, right? What I like to read different books on psychology, on like science, on space. And you can explore, when you're talking to a girl in person, you just don't talk about like bullshit stuff. Like think of like a brain dead promoter, who only talks about music, things like that. I'm not, I'm not like into talking about music all the time, right? I don't play instruments. I like to talk intellectual topics. Not that you have to still calibrate her if like she's brain dead as well. If she's brain rot bimbo, you should probably not do that. But that's how you can change the perception of other person, right? It happens to me all the time. Yeah. They see me, they think I'm like a douchebag the way when they look at my Instagram, but then when they meet me in person, they're like, man, you are so smart, you are so intelligent, and then you are so nice, right? So it may look like that online, right? But you can always tone it up and down. But you tell me, man, situation A, there's a guy who's a geek, socially awkward. And then situation B, like there's a guy, everyone likes him, and then he's always around cool people,
Yeah.
and girls also seem to like him. Which person would a girl more likely to interact with?
Yeah, of course, the social guy. Actually, when a girl says, or when someone in general says that, hey, Ans, you're such a party guy, all you do is just party, da 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 da, what they're actually saying is like, man, your life is so amazing. How do you do this? I want to be part of this. This is actually what they're trying to say, and they're showing interest that way. So this is what I noticed with myself a couple of times as well. So when girls just text me, hey, you're doing party so much, or they talk to me in person, it's then very important for you to know how to respond. You can say things, yeah, I like to party and I bring girls all the time and this club and this club. Or you can just say, yeah, I got invited, brought a few friends. Right. So then you just appear as the guy who is being surrounded by cool people, getting invited to cool place, rather than for you showing off as you just put on a lot of work for you to make this happen.
Will it work for me if I'm not tall, Viking, an alpha chat thundercock? What if I'm like short, I'm broke, I'm ugly, or not good looking?
Yeah. I mean, I know Indian guys who pull that off. So what else do you want? I mean, sure, this can work for everyone. I mean, we know guys who are way older than us, who are in their 50s, who made this happen, guys who are shorter, who made this happen.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about preselection. Preselection makes your life easier. Whether you are a 5'7" Indian guy or whether you are a 6'2" Viking Icelandic guy, right? It works for everyone. For okay, the more genetically gifted you are, the better it's going to help, right? But of course, you should always work on yourself, right? If you have a dad bod, if you don't know how to dress well, then nothing is going to help. Like having a bunch of girls around you is not going to help you if you are not working on yourself.
I mean, there's this guy who everyone knows here in Munich who is in his 40s, has a huge dad bod, who's bald, and he's like the most extroverted energy one can have, and he's like partying every weekend in the clubs, and everyone knows him here in Munich. So I mean, everyone can pull it off. You just have to put in the work, essentially.
I live in a city with 50,000 people. Will it work for me, or does it only work for the bigger cities?
I mean, of course, if you live in a big city, of course, things when it comes to that point will be easier if there are more people in the city. I mean, that's quite obvious. But in every city, is, for example, in a city with 50,000 people, there will be some places where people will want to go to as well on some Friday or Saturday evening where you can make things happen. But of course, it will be harder for you to pull off compared to a big city. In the end, logistics are the key here for this to make it very, very big.
Yeah, I mean, you could always do house parties, but if girls don't know you, that's hard.
Yeah.
Like they don't trust random people and then go to their houses. Like they could fucking lose their kidneys if a person not right. Can work, but you have to just find guys who are doing it and then help them do it. In every city, if it's like 100,000 city with 100,000 people, I think there is some scene going on.
Yeah,
like I've been in smaller cities, there's like 2 clubs, even in like a city of 60,000 people.
Definitely.
And people come there from small towns or suburbs. That's definitely possible. Always going to be much more easier if you just move to a bigger city because there's better scene, hotter girls, things like that.
Before I came to Munich, I lived in a city which has 250,000 people, which is quite big for Germany. And there was a lot of things going on. Of course, when I came to Munich or every time when I was in Berlin, which has 3 million people, things are looking completely different, of course, but you can pull things off quite easily in towns with 100K people or even 50K people, because every town has some sort of scene going on. It's always easier to get into a existing scene rather than just creating your own one. All right, guys, I hope you have right now a better understanding of what it actually means to be a club promoter. And being a club promoter doesn't necessarily mean that you just do only club promotion. It's a general term for a guy or a girl who helps other venues or places where people socially gather to get more people and more high quality people in, right? And you can use that function, that position of being a promoter to get better business deals, better business contacts, or just get to know hotter girls, spend more time with them, and from there on meet other hotter girls or find the love of your life if you will so, and of course if you want to put in the work. And if you need specific guidance with that, if you just say right now, hey, I really want to make this work, social circle is the thing, I'm tired and sick of cold approaching and online dating and all of that shit, I want to do this social approach, then we got something for you. Just go to the link in the description down below. Just schedule a call either with me or Ans, and then we will look exactly at your situation, where you are right now, where you want to go, and develop a customized plan for you to start take action today. So see you in a call and see you next time.
Ciao for now.